Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Luxury Microfiber here in the panhandle of very hot, muggy, sticky Florida. You detailers in Florida, my heart goes out to you. Working in Dallas, we get extreme heat. We typically don't have the humidity that Florida has. Folks, just moving my arms around or telling my body to breathe, I'm breaking into a sweat. It is hot and sticky. And there's a good reason I want to kind of review this next product I'm going to review. This wheel here for my client, they typically wash this car about once a month. They go through a car wash tunnel. It's a Mercedes. It's a 2018. Typically Mercedes years ago, not even all that long ago, boy, they would produce a lot of brake dust like BMWs, but that's changing over the last couple of years. It's the caliper, it's the brake pads they're using. The brake rotors kind of change. The material, the composite of the material is different, and it doesn't kick off as much brake dust as they have years ago. But I'm going to stick my finger inside here. I don't recommend you guys do this, but I'll go in here and show you how much dirt. See that brake dust inside there? That's about a month old. The other thing I want to talk about is because it's so hot and sticky and muggy, a lot of products that I would use right now that are basically, even if I use an acid-based wheel cleaner or a dedicated wheel cleaner that's kind of like a very light fluid, almost like the consistency of water, with this high humidity and high temperature, that product is going to flash awfully quick. I want to talk about this. It's a Chemical Guys product. Are you kidding me, Scott? This is called Diablo wheel cleaner. I have a love-hate relationship with this. I want to be very transparent here. In this particular situation, it's going to work like a dream because it's like a gel consistency. It's going to stay wet longer and not have that difficulty with a lot of other wheel cleaners where they flash or they dry up so quickly in this type of environment where I have to keep applying it to keep it wet. And I'll kind of show you what I mean. The other thing is that for cars that are well maintained, well, this wheel hasn't been cleaned in a month. But if you're the type of person that cleans their wheels once a week, once every 2 weeks, or in this particular case, once a month, it'd probably be just fine for this type of braking system on this Mercedes. This Diablo, I'm just going to spray it onto the face of the wheel. And you'll notice when I spray it, it's kind of like a gel substance. Someone's going to say to me, Scott, can't you just use car soap in this particular situation? Well, yeah, but the surfactants within this cleaner are a little bit more aggressive than a car soap. But you'll notice when I spray that on there, it's got this red tint to it. It's like a gel. It's clinging. What's really nice is that this stuff is not evaporating or flashing like other typical wheel cleaners that are more the consistency of water. They'll start to break down, and I got to keep applying product. And what's really nice about this Diablo is the amount of lubrication from its foaminess. Does that kind of make sense? So I'll work the inside of this lug nut area, and then I'll do the inside spokes. This is kind of how I do these wheels with this spoke design. I kind of work from the inside out. Get in there, make sure I get all those areas. But you'll notice that this product will stay wet throughout this process, even during this really extreme high temperatures. I think right now it's about 90 degrees, but the humidity is like 80%. It almost looks like it's going to rain, but that's Florida. I think it's going to hold off till a little bit later on tonight. But you'll notice as I work around this wheel, how nice it is that it stays kind of juicy for me, right? Nice lubrication. It's staying wet. It's not evaporating. It's not flashing on me or drying up too soon. What's also very interesting is that Chemical Guys say this is a spot-free wheel cleaner. I did the other wheel. I did not blow it off, and I didn't dry it off with a towel. We'll see how that looks, because their spot-free claim is actually true. Very interesting, because I'm working here in Florida with very, very hard water. So let me go in here, just rub around this juicy goodness. This is more than sufficient for cars that are well maintained. It is pH neutral, so you know as a professional detailer, I'm a huge fan of acid-based wheel cleaners. Well, guess what? In this particular situation, I don't need it. I don't need to expose myself to it. From a health perspective, I don't have to expose myself or the environment to it. And this works really, really well. Nice lubrication. I love this product. Again, you got to remain realistic. If you come across a wheel that hasn't been cleaned in months and it produces a lot of brake dust and that stuff is caked on there, no, this is not the stuff you want to grab. But let me go ahead and rinse it off. Now it says you can use this stuff on tires, folks. I would not use this on tires. It's not strong enough to be able to fight through the browning, the anti-ozonates that might be present on your tire. But let me go here. You remember when I put my finger inside there and I rubbed it, you can see the brake dust. Let me go in here, lightly just spray a couple spritz inside the wheel barrel. Then I'm just going to take a very soft kind of wheel woolly design brush. This actually happens to be mine with luxury microfiber. I'm going to go in here and just lightly agitate that cleaner. Again, I'm not working with a cleaner that's overly aggressive. It's not needed in this moment. I don't have to expose myself to that nasty chemical. Again, I'm a huge fan of acid-based wheel cleaners, but there are times I don't want to work with them because, again, I want to be conscious of the environment. There are pets here in this home and I don't need to do it and I don't need to expose myself to it, so this is going to work just fine. And I tell you what, for that 1 month of brake dust inside these barrels, it's doing a great job of being able to clean the inside of the barrel, even with this isn't all that aggressive, these little wheel woolly type of brushes, right? They're not a stiff bristle. It's working just fine. And I'm going to show you the other wheel that I did not dry with a towel. I just let it air dry. Very interesting how the claim of it kind of leaving a spot-free, residue-free surface is quite amazing. Sometimes what I find when this is a little tip, when I find I'm trying to clean out the barrels with a power washer, sometimes I want more flow of water. I take the tip off and I kind of really rinse out that barrel. Now, let me put my finger inside there and see if I can get any brake dust. Well, let me use a different finger that I didn't have dirty from before. Let me reach in there. Can you guys hear that? Kind of squeaky clean. And there's my finger. There is no brake dust on there whatsoever. Not at all. Does a really nice job. Again, keep your expectancies kind of realistic with this stuff. It's a winner when you're working in very hot temperatures, high humidity, where other wheel cleaners would tend to flash on you and dry up, and you'll just keep using more product because you got to reactivate it because you don't want it to dry. Its claim of being, you know, what's interesting is when I rub my finger on the wheel, can you guys hear that squeaky sound? Very squeaky clean. I don't see any residue left behind. I'm going to clean the caliper here in a minute, but let me bring you to the other wheel that I did, that I just let it air dry. I didn't use a towel. I didn't use a blower. And I'm using hard water. What's very interesting is it hasn't left any nasty water spots or any type of residue on the wheel. And if I put my finger in here, these lug nut areas are still a little bit wet from where the water didn't come out of it, right? But there you go. I didn't air dry it. I didn't use a towel. And it did an amazing job. Again, the brake dust that was on this wheel was about a month old. Did a really nice job. I like it. So chemical guys, your Diablo wheel cleaner is very interesting to me. It's a winning combination right now in this moment for this particular wheel in the high humidity and high temperature. I also want to state this is a ready-to-use product. You can buy this at Walmart or AutoZone. I tell you what, they do make it by the gallon, and I think they're gallons from Chemical Guys from their website. You can actually dilute it. This product you can't dilute. It's ready to use. So that might be a nice advantage for somebody who's going to go through a lot of it if you want to dilute it. But it really works well. I see no residue that I'm going to be fighting. I can just let it air dry as I continue around this vehicle, and this wheel will look like the other one. No issues. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Hopefully that helps you out. Again, keep it realistic. There are tires or wheels you're going to come across that are far hammered, more hammered than this. You're going to have to be more aggressive. I'm not trying to mislead anybody, but in this particular situation, I can tell this customer who only cleans his wheels once a month, this may be a perfect wheel cleaner for him. Safe for the environment, safe for him, his family, his pets around the home, and it will work just fine. Talk to you guys later. Love you all.